Chapter 42. Thanks for understanding, Ramirez, Rimuru said as he finished talking with her about the spirits. No problem, Rimuru-kun. Ramirez smiled. All that you asked are inferior spirits. After all, this place is overflowing with them. Ramirez froze for a bit and turned in a certain direction wide-eyed. Rimuru noticed. Is something wrong? He asked curiously. No, it's nothing. She turned to him and smiled. It's just, for the past millennium, I have been feeling some commotion in my spirits. Just now it happened again. I wonder what those kids have been doing. She placed a hand to her cheek. I see. Well, if you need something, feel free to ask. I owe you after all. Rimuru said, preparing to leave. Fu, I'll keep that in mind, Rimuru-kun. Ramirez replied as she waved. And so Rimuru spent the rest of his days in Twilight's facility talking about the details of their agreement and helping them with research. Rimuru-kun, Sylvia shouted as she ran to the room where Rimuru was. Don't shout like that, Sylvia, Rimuru said with an annoyed expression. I could have accidentally wasted all of this research data, you know. He showed the box full of different types of blood and other fluids. Right, sorry. Sylvia apologized insincerely. Anyway, about this, she showed the orb that was given to her by Rimuru. Can I really have this? Sylvia has finally been able to fully comprehend the orb and its inner workings. She was shocked of what it had in store for her. To be able to create a body suited for spirits and souls to live in. A revolutionary idea, even for people in this facility. Yeah, you can have it, Rimuru said as he put down what he was carrying. You owe me though, Rimuru grinned as he walked. Oh, what do I need to do? Sylvia asked with a serious tone as she follows beside him. Ha, too serious, Rimuru laughed, and with a sidelong glance. How about some high elven DNA? PFT, Rimuru, if you wanted to have sex with me just say it, Sylvia mockingly said. What? I meant blood, idiot, Rimuru said, stunned at first by her comment. Answered. Oh, either way is fine for me, Sylvia shrugged. Luminos seems to enjoy it. How'd you know? Oh, so it is as I suspected. Sylvia shouted in excitement. She nodded her head in understanding. To think Luminos would grow up to be doing that. It feels like just yesterday when she couldn't stand the sight of you. You suspected, huh? I wasn't really hiding it, but it would be annoying if it was found out. Rimuru said. What made you suspect us? Just intuition, and especially your body language with each other. Sylvia said matter-of-factly. I mean, it was so obvious you two are close. It was a matter of time before something happens. Rimuru sighed. Well, whatever, I just wanted some blood sample from you. Can I ask why? Sylvia asked, though, I feel like I know it already. She thinks that it is for Rimuru to create his own high elf as a subordinate. It's exactly what you're thinking. Rimuru already expected and know that Sylvia would have catch on to his intent. Sylvia grinned. Aha, so you do want my body, creating a clone of me and having your why. Ah, Rimuru-kun, you pervert. Sylvia hugged her body as she pretended to be scared and back a few steps from Rimuru. Like I said, it's not like that. Rimuru sighed, holding his temple for the headache. Is that a yes? Sylvia stopped. Well, sure, it's just blood. Not like it affects me. Sylvia holds out her arm, implying that Rimuru should get it now. Rimuru placed the things he was carrying and took a syringe. It was another one of the things Rimuru and Jahil improved. The syringe in the facility were not made with the safety of the subject being taken blood from. As Rimuru and Jahil repeats their test with certain test subjects, it was necessary to make sure they live longer. With that in mind, Rimuru took 2 full vials of blood from Sylvia. After it was done, Sylvia said her goodbye and left to continue studying the orb. As it was the night time for the 5th day, Rimuru finally went to his room to rest. He was currently thinking about the things needed to be done after the returns to Citadel. The construction of the spirit facility is doing fine, that should increase the average strength. The number of worlds are getting overwhelming. Should we change home base? No, the universe that Veldanava gave me is the most optimal. After all, only the island exists in said universe. Then should I? As Rimuru mulls in a quiet voice, a knock was heard from the door. He sat on the bed. Come in. Once he uttered, the door opened revealing Luminos. Lumi, did you need something? Rimuru asked as he stand up to walk towards her. Upon inspecting, Luminos appears to be planning to go out. Are you busy? Luminos asked quietly. No, not really, Rimuru said as he scratches his head. Do you wanna go somewhere? Luminos perked up and nodded. Rimuru stopped in front of her and they both teleported to another place. The first thing that Rimuru saw as they changed location was a beautiful castle in front of him. It seemed like a natural castle, even though it was wholly artificial. It had a strong sense of majesty. In several locations, there were jagged ridges that resembled rose thorns. They appeared to be guard posts. This is, Rimuru could only utter. Luminos was satisfied with Rimuru's reaction to the castle. Fufufu, well, what do you think? She said with a proud tone. It's beautiful, Rimuru answered simply. I mean, I don't have the words to describe it. Don't be shy, tell me your honest opinion. Luminos said with a very noticeable beautiful smile showing of her fangs. Rimuru placed one hand to his chin and looked at the castle and then at Luminos. Well, I guess I like that you had it made with an aesthetic of silver in color. It matches well with your hair, a light silver. Rimuru said gesturing to her hair. Is that so? Luminos said as she unconsciously held her hair. Well, that's one reason at least. Luminos thought. Thanks for the compliment. Fake coughing to herself to regain composure, she held out her hand to Rimuru. Let's go for a tour. Yeah, let's go. Rimuru accepted her hand. And so the two walked around the castle and the different location inside. Oh, a voice said as he saw the two walking around. Rimuru turned to look at the person and he saw who looked like an old man. A rugged middle-aged man with slicked back silver gray hair. Prolix, you were here. Rimuru said as they saw each other. Well, if it isn't Rimuru-sama, Prolix bowed slightly. I was actually looking for my brother Gunther. I see, Rimuru said. Looking at Prolix slightly turned his head to Luminos to give a quick glare before returning to his normal expression. Of course Rimuru and Luminos noticed it both. Did Rimuru-sama came here because of my certain activities on the human nations Rimuru-sama created? Prolix asked with slight concern. He doesn't want to cause any problem for Twilight and especially his relationship with Rimuru. The one who provides Twilight with different samples of creatures. Rimuru tilted slightly before realization hits. No. It's fine, I didn't came here for that. I don't mind what you do, though keep it in moderation if possible. Rimuru shrugs. I see, Prolix internally sighed in relief. Thank you for your understanding. Prolix bowed. Well then, I'll be leaving now. He said as he walks away. Once he was out of sight, Rimuru slightly snickered. He really hates your guts. Whatever, not my fault. Luminos said and they continued their tour. In Citadel on the same time, Velgrind sits inside Rimuru's office. She is laying her head in his table as she sat on his chair. Thinking about the talk she and her sister had about Rimuru. Flashback. Velgrind, Velzard said as she looks at her sister. Both of them are sitting on the large balcony of Guy's castle. They are the only ones here. Even the servants were kicked out for the two to have a private conversation. Velgrind's eyes perked to look at Velzard. What is it? Nothing really, Velzard said. So how is it in Rimuru's place? They're always busy with their work. Velgrind answered with a sigh. All of the inhabitants of Citadel have work designated for each of them. You don't do anything? Velzard asked with Velgrind's usage of they, and not we. Well, Velgrind said with side glance. I'm not good with paperwork, and last time I helped with surveying an investigation. I managed to blow up 8 worlds. Velgrind said with her voice getting smaller and smaller. Then what do you do there? Velzard said curiously. I mean, in here I just do what I want. And Guy barely does much anyway and leaves it all to his subordinates to observe the humans. Oh, well, in times that there is a fight the others can't manage I come as support. Velgrind answered enthusiastically. Though most times, I laze around Rimuru's office reading novels. Reading novels, huh? What genre? Velzard asked, curious with her sister's taste in books. Well, mostly romance, Velgrind recalled. though I've been curious with the historical books and memoir that we have collected from the different worlds that Rimuru seems to have taken a liking to. Sometimes I even read some arrow." She stopped herself from saying anything more. What?" Velzard asked. What was the last word? "Oh, nothing," Velgrind brushed off. "Why do you ask anyway?" Changing the topic. "Nothing much. Romance, huh? So you always read in Rimuru's office, doesn't it bother him?" "I asked that once. He said it doesn't bother him and it actually helps with his mental exhaustion." "How exactly?" Velzard couldn't think. How would it help? If it were her, others would just annoy her if she is doing something. He didn't answer and just laughed it off. Velgrind shrugs, as she sips her tea. Well, back on Rimuru, what do you think of him?" Velzard asked, as she placed multiple soundproof barriers additional to the ones already placed. Velgrind placed her cup down and placed her hands to her chin, to which she leaned in. "Well, it's Rimuru. How should I answer?" Velgrind couldn't quite put it into words. "At first I thought he was a battle maniac like the rest of the demons. I mean he is, but he is actually a serious guy with his work." Velgrind started. "He loves to do weird research with Jahil. He mess around with the other primordial demons. He also dotes on Lei, which he doesn't realize. Whenever I'm with him, I feel all warm and fuzzy. He's just comfortable to stay close with." Velgrind smiled as she continues. "That's probably why I stay in his office often. Though, I've been feeling some chest pain few times when I'm with him." Velgrind said gloomily. "Is that so? When did these chest pain happen?" Velzard asked. She could already guess the entire situation with the information she got. "I think whenever he dotes on Lei, also just yesterday when he plans on visiting Twilight's facility." Velgrind tried to recall all of the times she felt hurt seeing Rimuru smile with someone else. "I see, Velgrind. I'll rephrase my question then. What do you feel with Rimuru?" Velzard could guess that Velgrind is clueless with her own feelings. She needs a small push from her big sister. "What do I feel?" Velgrind repeated the words as she tries to process it. She sat down properly. "Well, I don't know. A good friend. A fun person to be with." She answered in a questioning tone, like she was looking for someone to confirm her own words. "Do you want me to tell you what I think?" Velzard said. She needs someone to confirm for her. She doesn't want to admit it, huh? "I think you like Rimuru, romantically speaking." "L like Rimuru," Velgrind repeated. Velzard nodded her head, "And the pain you feel is probably jealousy." "Am I in love with Rimuru?" Velgrind asked herself. "You don't have to force yourself to admit it," Velzard said, trying to reassure her. "Just think about it for a bit." End flashback. Velgrind sighed as she placed her head on Rimuru's empty desk. "Me and Rimuru, huh?" she muttered to herself. She heard a knock on the door. She sat straight and then walked towards the door. Opening, she saw Lei on the other side. "Seems we have some trouble," Lei said to Velgrind. To be continued.